So Dick Cheney is still at it. He's going on the talk shows and talking about what a tough guy he is and how he'd be tougher. In this case, he's saying that it was a mistake of President Obama to take military options off the table against Russia. Okay, all right, hold on. He's going to clarify. Let's watch.
I worry when we begin to address a crisis by the first thing we do is take options off the table. I don't think the administration should do that.
Have they done that?
In the sense saying that no military. He seems to operate that way most of the time. There are military options that don't involve putting troops on the ground in Crimea. We could go back and reinstate the ballistic missile defense program. It was taken out. It was originally going to go in Poland, Czech Republic. Obama took it out to appease Putin. We could do training exercises in Poland, joint exercises. We can offer military assistance in terms of equipment, training, and so forth to the Ukrainians themselves. So,
okay, so at the very least, he's not saying let's nuke them. Wait, hold for it. Okay, but look, if you start putting military options on the table, you're moving troops, you're helping the Ukrainians, you're arming them, you're doing this, etc., with physical weaponry, you're talking about moving missile defense system into place. Well, okay, the Russians might also respond in kind, and then they start moving ships around and they start arming people, and next thing you know, you're on the pathway to the worst war in world history. Now, there's a reason why you take that option off the table, because we would not all like to die. If you gave it to a vote to the American people, hey, listen, Putin's going to push us around and he's going to take Crimea, and God damn it, I can't believe he made us look like that, and he just took one of our allies' portion of their land, even though it's ethnically Russian, etc. Or we're going to wind up, even with a small chance, of war with Russia. My guess is they're not going to vote for a small chance of war with Russia, because they still have a lot of nuclear weapons. I don't know if you know that. Cheney's like, we lose New York, Seattle, and San Antonio, but we get Crimea. Yeah, not interested. Okay. Now, he's going to keep talking about how weak President Obama is and what he did in Syria. Of course, keep in mind that this is the guy who let 9/11 happen on his watch. And of course, at that time, President Bush was hardly present. Literally, he was in Crawford. Dick Cheney was, for the first 6 years of the Bush presidency, pretty much ran the shows, especially on foreign policy, especially on national security, and allowed the biggest terrorist attack in American history to happen on his watch. But this weak-ass bitch is still going to talk about other people. Watch.
We have created an image around the world, not just for the Russians, of weakness and indecisiveness. The Syrian situation's a classic. We got all ready to do something, but a lot of the allies signed on at the last minute. Obama backed off. So I just happened to speak to a couple of members of the European Parliament within the last couple of days who indicated that the request for the Europeans to cooperate on sanctions is more difficult than it would have been because of what happened with respect to Syria, that in fact they got ready to go, and at the last minute the U.S. President Obama backed off. So he's got a much higher mountain to climb in order to try to mobilize European governments to come on board for something other than military. But I think there should be no doubt in anybody's mind that the United States is going to do everything we can to mobilize NATO, our Western European friends and allies, to make certain that Putin gets the message that this kind of behavior is unacceptable and won't tolerate it, and he can't do it without paying a price.
All right. Now, he speaks in Syria as if Obama was Ronald Reagan and ran like Reagan did in Beirut, right? No, but in Syria, here's what happened. They said, what would you like so you don't attack us? We said, well, we'd like you to turn over all of your chemical weapons. They said, deal. See, that's not running, that's winning, okay? And we get all their chemical weapons so they don't have any anymore and they can't use them anymore. And that's without a single shot fired. As opposed to Dick Cheney, who said, Iraq, we're going to come to get you. And he fired a lot of shots, and what happened? An epic, literally historic disaster. And what did you accomplish, Dick Cheney? Not a damn thing, right? This guy thinks that pushing people around and bombing them is a sign of strength. No, if you do it indiscriminately and you don't accomplish your goals, then you're an idiot. Okay, speaking of which, wait a minute, Dick Cheney, wasn't your administration in charge when Putin came into Georgia and took a piece of Georgia? I mean, you let that happen. Charlie Rose is going to allude to that. He does it with some trepidation, but he does allude to it. So let's hear the answer.
As you know, in Georgia, that people will make the case that Russian troops remained, and that it was a very different situation because we did not or were not able to respond more.
Right.
So what is that lesson of that?
Well, the lesson
in
of
your
that,
own
I think,
administration.
the lesson of that, I think, it came at a time sort of at the end of the Bush administration, at the beginning of the Obama administration, but it was of deep concern to our friends in Western Europe. We did take some steps in terms of providing assistance to Georgia. We had ships in the region and so forth. So there were steps taken, but they weren't effective in terms of driving Putin out. And part of the problem in that case, there was a question about who actually provoked whom with respect to the Georgia.
Wait. First of all, I love that pause there. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? It was the end of the Bush administration and the beginning of the Obama administration. How is that for an awesomely weak answer? I mean, it happened on our watch, but Obama, it was kind of in the beginning. No. It happened on your watch. You could have reacted in all the ways you want, man. You could have set up missile defense. You could have attacked Russia. You could have put all the military options on the table. So which one was it? Did you take the military options off the table like a bitch? Or did you use them and they were not effective, as you just said there, not effective? Which one was it, Dick? Are you weak or are you stupid? Which one is it, Dick? It happened under your watch. Oh, not talking a lot anymore, are you? And then I love that at the end. He says, well, in the case of Georgia, he basically said, they had it coming. This is the guy who stands up for their allies and stands so strong against what his president, by the way, called Pooty Poot. Bush was so tough against Putin, his nickname for him was Pooty Poot. Very tough, Dick. Very tough. Please give me more of your sage advice.
Yeah, Malcolm and I talk about this all the time, that Dick Cheney and all the people who are for the Iraq war, they need to shut the fuck up about foreign policy because they're wrong about everything. They said they had weapons of mass destruction. Wrong. That we greeted as liberators. Wrong. That the war would pay for itself. Wrong. That they would spread democracy like an oasis through the desert. Wrong. So shut the fuck up.
All right, I can't help but add two quick things to that. My favorite quote is from Don Rumsfeld, who said that the weapons of mass destruction, we know where they are. They are north, south, east, and west of Tikrit. That would be all around Tikrit, and that would be completely false because they were nowhere near Tikrit. In fact, they were nowhere near Iraq. And their estimate for how much the war would cost, other than paying for itself, was $1.7 billion. It cost approximately $5 trillion.